with your host, Killer Keemstar and FaZe Banks.
You can find me in the heart of the city. You can tell me that I could have done more. You can show me why I'm here, what I'm feeling. All I know is all I know.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Welcome to the one, the only Mom's Basement, exclusively on Spotify with your hosts with the most, Killer Keemstar, and the one, the only FaZe Banks.
What's good? It's just me and Keem today. Again, apologies for the sour attitude off rip. I don't know, man. Let's just get
I'm going to jump right into it.
Yeah,
I'm going to jump right into it. Okay. Why is FaZe Clan scamming kids?
Stop. Please stop. Listen, right off the fucking bat, before we even started recording this episode, Keem's like, are we going to talk about this FaZe shit? I was like, yeah, of course we're going to talk about the fucking FaZe shit. I don't know why it's being labeled as FaZe shit, though. Like, that's like... It's just annoying, man.
Let's give some quick backstory. Okay, so basically, a bunch of FaZe members, FaZe Cave, FaZe Jarvis, Tico, Nico, Nikon, sorry, Nico, or Nikon, Summer Rae and Rice Gum, they were promoting a cryptocurrency, right? Which me and Banks have warned you guys like 1,000 times about some of the stuff that's going on in crypto, and to like really be cautious, and that we're not financial advisors, etc. Well, these boys got into this cryptocurrency called Save the Kids, and it was basically modeled, if I have my facts right, it was modeled off of SafeMoon, where, you know, there's like a tax when you sell and a certain percentage goes to something. In this case, it was supposed to go to a charity. They were ambassadors. They were promoting it. Allegedly, some of them had coins before it even was offered to the public. Then it gets offered to the public. It starts like skyrocketing. The whales involved, and I'm not sure who these whales are, but people that had a lot of coins started selling right away. And then the thing crashed and a lot of people lost a lot of money. So now the story, there's like two big exposed videos, one from CoffeeZilla and one from Some Ordinary Gamers, who is a close friend of ours.
So a couple things right off the rip. One, I'm not entirely sure that a ton of people lost a ton of money. That's like something that people assume. Like I haven't seen or heard of people like losing a ton of money. That doesn't really matter. It just, that's one of those things that it's just like people just, I don't know. This is what I'll say about all that. So CoffeeZilla, good dude, by the way. I don't know. Have you talked to him, Keem? Do you know him?
I haven't had a chance to meet him, but I did see a few videos.
I actually don't know him. I've never known him. And the first time I ever heard of him, he posted this fucking tweet about me scamming people. And Max Mofo is friends with him and hit me up about it. And we talked about it. And luckily for me, I fucking hit up CoffeeZilla. I was like, bro, you got this all wrong. Like, I have nothing to do with this fucking moon portal shit. Like, he was hitting me up about some moon portal shit and asking me about the giveaway I did with Bank Social. Yeah, none of that. I've never been a part of any sort of pump and dump fucking bullshit. I've been hit up by literally, obviously I'm super into the crypto shit, NFT stuff specifically, but I actually love the space. I've met a lot of really cool people in this space. This is something I want to fucking be a part of and do long term. I like learning about shit every day. I've never been about that fucking fast cash bullshit. Like, I've never even dropped merch. You know what I'm saying? Aside from like that loose chain shit we did.
Yeah, by the way, why, dude, we're going to get way off topic, but seriously, why is there not a loose change drop too?
You always
it's so annoying.
Well,
that was so successful.
Exactly.
That was so successful. You completely,
listen.
Okay, hold up. No. Time out. I want everyone to listen to me. The year was 2017. It was the summer of 2017, maybe 18, whatever. I go to LA to help my boy Banks launch his brand. Bro, there was a sea of kids outside of this thing, right? Yeah, they sold out in like 10 minutes.
I think we did.
They sold out of everything online. It was a wild success. Banks could have made $1 billion probably with this clothing brand. Just doesn't do another drop. That's it. Just one and done. What the fuck are you doing with your life?
I think we did like 600,000 in like 15 minutes or something like that. I actually don't remember. And I actually never even like took my share of the money. It's still sitting in the loose change account, whatever. Again, I've covered this. It's exactly for that reason. It was never about the money. I saw, especially during that time, the average YouTuber is just putting out dog shit, horrible merch. You know what I mean? With their fucking names slapped on like a shitty t-shirt.
And let me explain one more point real quick.
Yeah, go
Let
ahead.
me explain one more point real quick. When other influencers like put out merch and stuff and they go like sold out, like they're literally manipulating the numbers to just make it seem like their launch was really successful. That's like a marketing tactic.
That's actually a good. That's
when
actually
they're
a
like
good,
sold out.
That's actually a good point.
No, Banks really had a shit ton of merch and really did fucking sell out. Like he really did sell out.
That was the whole thing, right? It was all cut and sew. It was basically my take at like a designer clothing line. I worked with real designers. We did real cut and sew, our own measurements. Like people do not do it. Like we had motherfuckers cutting like you know what I mean? Cutting out fucking sheets of material and making them into t-shirts. That's not what people do with merch. They buy a bunch of blanks and print merch. They'll drop their merch and be like sold out in 10 minutes. And what that really means is they just had a 10-minute window and they sold as many as they could.
When it was all said and done, it was real quick. I want to make one more point. Okay, when it was all said and done, right, and it all sold out, and it was like this wild success, right? I go to Banks and I start bitching at him. I'm like, bro, I bought a plane ticket. I came here to support you, and I don't even have a fucking loose change fucking shirt. No, shirt. I was bitching that I didn't even have a shirt. You didn't even give me a shirt. This motherfucker goes to me. He goes, I don't own a piece of article of my own drop. Like it's literally all gone. And to this day, I haven't seen you wear it. To this day.
No, I actually own some samples from season 2, like the season 2 we never dropped. So I'll occasionally wear like one of those t-shirts. But no, for that exact reason, right? Like I honestly wanted to see if I could do it. Like I just wanted to see if we could do it, and we fucking did it. And I knew it was never going to be as big as the first drop. So it's just like when you fucking accomplish everything you wanted to accomplish with the first drop, it kind of like for most people, right? For most people that would put all the wind in their sails, they'd fucking go full throttle. You know what I mean? Fucking take that shit for as long as they do that shit for as long as they could, make as much money as possible. For me, it was like, okay, we did it. Like, I don't know. And it just
you're insane. You could have sold that brand for like fucking $10 million the next day.
I also didn't have a ton of structure in my life, and FaZe just had been reintroduced into my life. Remember all that shit? You know, I just started like working with the FaZe boys again, whatever. But anyways, I guess we could go back to what we were talking about. I really want to talk about this. So CoffeeZilla, I hit up CoffeeZilla basically with the receipts, and he apologized to me for lumping me in with that shit. I guess somebody on some Reddit thread lumped me in with Moon Portal. Never even fucking heard of any of these coins, by the way. Like I've never worked with Moon Portal. I've never so I just basically cleared my name up with him. He's like, okay, cool. And then he just started asking me about the boys who live in Las Vegas. So all those guys that you mentioned earlier, they all live in Vegas. And this is the fucking problem, right? Like they're all in
Rice Gum and Summer don't live in Vegas.
Yes,
but yeah.
Rice and Summer don't live in Vegas. Rice and Summer also aren't in FaZe. So I'm not going to speak about them in terms of like this whole fucking FaZe thing. Like FaZe keeps getting lumped into this, and it's actually a problem, and it's actually really fucking unfair because FaZe didn't make any money doing any of this shit. FaZe didn't know about any of this shit. FaZe didn't set up any of these deals. This isn't a fucking FaZe thing. This is a Tico, Jarvis, K, and Nikon thing individually, and that's a whole separate thing. Whether or not they did anything wrong or knew that this was going to happen, you know what I mean? Like. That's the fucking problem with crypto and like all altcoins specifically. They're the least reliable, consistent fucking things. And you know what I mean? It's a hit or miss always, right? With that shit. Like,
Lee Trink called me, the CEO of FaZe, and he wouldn't, I don't leak private conversations, but he wouldn't care that I'm saying this because it's exactly what you said. He wanted to make it clear to me when I do Drama Alert that this is actually not, anything to do with FaZe, the organization. These are individual people acting on their own, which is true, right? I mean, FaZe K says it in his own statement, right? And I told Lee,
see, that's the problem too. We that's the thing, right? People sometimes think it's all about the leverage and it's because we want to control shit, right? With our talent, typically we try to urge them like, hey, like make sure that you're doing all your deals and all your business through us. We have an entire team of people who are working in your best interest. And we don't want to limit people from making money. That's obviously not the goal. We want everybody in FaZe to make as much money as possible and be as happy as possible.
I told Lee, I go,
also,
I know.
Hold on, let me finish. And feel as free as possible. So we do let motherfuckers go out and do deals on their own and shit. It's just when you do that, you're not using any of our legal. You're not fucking, you know what I mean? You don't have that safety net of fucking FaZe Clan watching out for you and making sure that you're doing a deal that's okay. So exactly what Frazier said in that statement is the truth. This wasn't something that was done through FaZe management. This wasn't something that was fucking that had anything to do with us. Like we're sitting here now being attached to all this shit, and we really had nothing to do with it. These are individuals, Tico, fucking Frazier, Jarvis, and yes, they're in FaZe, but this has nothing to do with FaZe Clan.
And I just want to say something like,
Yeah.
I got so much credit on the new Drummler. People are like, oh, dude, Keem's a real one, man. He's covering this story, even though it's negative against FaZe and da and all this other stuff. It's like, no, you don't understand. Like when I talk to Banks or when I talk to like Lee Trink or I talk to anyone in FaZe, every single person in FaZe gives me the respect of, you know, being a journalist, like being entertainment news. They know that I have to cover the story, even though we have this strong relationship which we've had for years. I told Lee, I go, I'm going to cover the story. I'm going to cover the facts that I know about the situation. And I'm going to do it while wearing a fucking FaZe hat. Like I support FaZe, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like, you know, this is a story that I have to cover.
No, and obviously, listen. So I do want to get into like the details of it. So, and this is what I want to make perfectly clear. And I think Jarvis is probably the best example out of that whole group, right? The past 4 months, this fucking kid. I mean, and just off rip, I can tell you right now, Jarvis is what, 19, 20 years old. This kid, all this fucking kid cares about doing is making YouTube videos. When I lived with him for a year, he woke up every day at fucking 8 a.m. and made YouTube videos all day until he fell asleep. That's what the fuck that kid does. That's what he cares about. He's living the fucking dream. He works incredibly hard. And I've never heard Jarvis talk about business or deals or making money or anything like that. That's not what he's about. You know what I'm saying? He's about his fucking audience and his fucking videos, and he's just a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know any facts, but let me just
hang on.
Go ahead,
I want to
go
finish
ahead.
this little spiel. So for the last 4 months, he's been training for this fucking fight, right? So do I think that Jarvis at any point sat down